morning, my little boy. Good morning, my bun bun. Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a brand new vlog. Gosh, I never quite realised how glowy I am until I start vlogging. And I have put powder on today, but I don't mind. I don't mind. I'd rather be glowy than not be glowy. Dickens is growling at me to ask me to let him outside for a tinkle, which is very good. I'm very pleased that you're doing that. But we've got the lawnmower chaps here, and anyone that's ever met my little chicken might know that if he doesn't like you, he'll go for the ankles. He likes most people. He is a very good judge of character. But some people, especially people that push large, noisy machines over his lawn, he will go for the ankles. So I'm not going to let you out, my little sausage, because I know what you're going to do. I'm getting such puppy dog eyes right now. Go on. Show everybody your best puppy dog eyes. What were you telling your mummy? Mummy, I'm not a performing monkey. I won't do it when you ask. I'll do anything you ask, Mummy, because I am a teacher's pet. You're lovely. You are lovely. Anywho, it is well, it's not bank holiday weekend just yet, but it is the Friday before the bank holiday weekend. So this is going to be the bank holiday vlog. I'm just going to show you some snippets from throughout the weekend. I'm actually a little bit ahead with my videos for the first time in a while, so I don't feel like I need to cram too much into... Okay, stop growling at me. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit ahead with my videos at the moment, so hopefully this vlog can cover the whole weekend. Today is the 30th of April, and 9 years ago today was the day that Charlie first asked me to be his girlfriend. 9 years ago. That's literally, I was about to say half my life, but nearly a third of my life. Oh my goodness, 9 years. Shush. So today we are heading for lunch. We're going to a lovely place that we haven't actually been to since we moved to the Cotswolds, called the Ligon Arms. Or maybe we have. I don't know. We love it. Hopefully, if we've got time, stop growling at me. Stop. Can you hear this little boy growling at me? You're a pterodactyl. You're so bossy. 5 minutes and then you'll be able to go out. And hopefully we're going to go to one of the local National Trust properties and gardens on the way there, called Hidcote House. Apparently the gardens are really good. We were going to go there next weekend with friends, but apparently they don't allow dogs in the garden. Stop it! You don't growl when the camera's on you, do you? Are you embarrassed to be such a naughty boy? Are you? Are you? Oh my gosh, so I woke up to a lovely gardening trug of gifts from Charlie this morning. Let me quickly show you what my treats were. Look at this. I should have presented it a little bit more beautifully, but this is a trug from Daylesford. The trug that I currently use is probably about 40 years old. It was my mum's. I have to say, the old ones, everything that's old is just better built, but it is very rustic indeed, and I have been lusting over the Daylesford ones. So Charlie... Okay. Sorry, that was UPS. So yeah, we have a gorgeous Daylesford trug, and then this lovely book, which funnily enough I actually spotted in the Daylesford Garden Centre when I went yesterday, Secret Gardens of the Cotswolds. So obviously we're so lucky around here, there's so many beautiful National Trust gardens, but of course people in their... Ooh, that's a nice greenhouse. People in their actual homes have the most spectacular gardens, but they're private because they're in people's homes. So this is a really lovely book, giving you a bit of a glimpse. For anyone that struggles to envisage a herbaceous border, this is just the most fantastic example of a herbaceous border. So it's not too neat and tidy, lots of different, usually in the Cotswolds, the herbaceous borders have lots of purple in them, so lots of alliums. We've got salvias, we're going to have anemones, geraniums, all in these purpley green and a couple of pinky shades. So that is a herbaceous border, a really, really good example. Oh, this is Burford Priory. Gosh, what a house that is. What a house that is. Oh my goodness. So I really can't wait to have a look through this. A really lovely, really lovely gift. Vine Tomato Candle. This is actually Charlie's mum's favourite. She is obsessed with this, and so this smell always reminds me of their house, and I love it. It's a really fresh, kind of spring in the kitchen kind of smell. Really lovely. We have a selection of seeds here. Trailing nasturtium. That'll look lovely in my pots. We've got some more purple sprouting broccoli. I have so much of this already growing in the greenhouse, but I need to start a fresh batch of seeds so we have a good continuous supply. Russian red kale. I don't have any of that growing. And I think now is about the time. Let's see. March, April, May, June. Yeah, so perfect time. Shush. Shush. Perfect time to start growing that. And then a couple of beautiful larkspurs. And then apparently this is really good for digging out weeds, which is very romantic indeed, but actually really useful. It just feels really good quality. So a lovely bundle of gardening goodies from Charlie for our 9-year anniversary. What a treat. You are the most ridiculous creatures on the planet. Come on now. I know. Charlie has just returned home and it looks like he has been shopping. What have you been purchasing in your... Explain your haul, darling.
So, I just had my hair cut and on the way home there's a really sort of like, just a pretty standard garden centre, but they've always got everything, whereas a lot of the sort of more bougie garden centres around here never seem to have anything that we want, like they're always sold out. So this, I thought I'd beat the bank holiday rush.
Good thinking.
Today's Friday. And get the things that we need. So we've got Nepeta Walker's Low, which is catmint, which is for the beds that we're going to make on Sunday, Monday here. Mm-hmm. These are salvias, which we've already got in our herbaceous borders.
Lovely.
And I'd like to put them, and we've got some in there, and we now want them along here. And it's bringing, both of these are purple, so it's bringing purple into the beds. Yeah. Then this is mint and rosemary for 2 different tubs that we got from Ben and Robin.
Troughs.
I'm going to be planting up 2 troughs. Mm-hmm. And we've got different types. I've already got a couple of different types of rosemary, like the, I think it's called rosemary, is it autumnalis? No. Whatever it's called, it's the one that's really beautiful and flowers, but
as opposed to the woody one.
As good for cooking.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this one here, Jessop's Upright, I remember that one's always really good for cooking, as is this one, which is called Rosemary Arb.
Yeah, you can see the difference. The prettier one has got like juicier fat leaves.
Yeah, I mean you can cook with all of it, but it's nice to have, we've got a big trough, so it's nice to have different types of rosemary in there, and then they're all self-contained in that trough. And I think gradually the herb raised bed, we are going to move a lot of the herbs out of there and keep maybe chives in there and some of the more like parsley, you know, coriander, but all of the sort of herbs that are perennial and the ones that we use a lot of in the winter, particularly with roasts, will be in the tub. So
fantastic. Good job, gardener.
Yeah, and to be fair, this all came to about 70 quid, which I think is quite good value, because you would, these are going to literally, these will double in size in the next couple of months.
Yes, dear. Wish my handbag and bag collection doubled in size every couple of months. Just before we head out to our lunch at the Leg and Arms, I don't think we're going to have time to go to Hidka, unfortunately, because everything this morning just took a little bit longer than we thought. We're running around doing a few errands, but a quick outfit of the day for our anniversary lunch in Broadway, which is where the Leg and Arms is. Of course, any excuse to bring out the Dior coat. And then I've got a really lovely dress on underneath. I'll show you properly later from And Other Stories. It's actually a wrap dress, but because the temperature has dropped a little bit more, I've also got this lovely asymmetric jumper on from Reese. And then I've just got flat shoes on, my little Prada shoes. I'm going to be driving because Charlie's got some bits and bobs to do in the car. He's going to be launching the Straw Top Cottage Cotswold adventure weekend competition. So I'm going to drive, so these shoes are nice and comfy for driving and also for exploring the beautiful town of Broadway. So typical English weather. It is actually blue skies up there, and yet, yes, it's on my lap, and yet just as our food arrives, the heavens open. It's actually a bit of a hailstorm, but being Brits who are not allowed inside but desperate for a pub lunch, we're gonna stick it out. Probably our third or fourth time there.
I think it's our third time there, yeah.
We stayed overnight, we've been for a couple of meals, and this was obviously our first time dining outside there. They have converted their little terrace into an outside dining area, which is actually really nice. It had a little bit more of a relaxed kind of informal feel to it, and they've also turned their driveway valet parking into a kind of bistro table area where their wine bar is doing an even more relaxed dining area. And we were speaking to the managers there, and they said that they're actually turning, I think they said they're turning the wine bar into a pub. Is it the wine bar?
Yeah, I think it's going to be called, well, I don't know if we're allowed to say what it's going to be called actually, but I think they're basically turning it into their own little pub, because they've then got sort of different food areas to cater for everyone.
Yeah.
For you know, everyone's needs. So it sounds awesome.
It's a great idea, but we always love going to the Ligon Arms.
It's a beautiful hotel,
how
isn't it?
close it is to where we live. It's actually only half an hour from us. They're expanding as well for their bedrooms. They're going to have, I think they said 100 bedrooms by the end of the year with all the work that they're doing.
I think you said 180.
No, they've got 80 currently. They're bumping it up to 100.
Okay. Right, sorry.
So they've got lots of exciting plans there. Definitely somewhere. Broadway as a whole is definitely somewhere to visit. I am still working on that blog post. In fact, I'm just going to get it done. I'm going to publish it this weekend. I guess because I always think, oh, there's so much more to add.
What's the blog post?
Just like, I get hundreds of messages saying, Josie, we're coming to Cotswolds, what are your recommendations?
I think you just got to do like phase one and just update it as we explore, because there's so many places.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the challenge is designing a guide for each area of the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
Because you could drive for 2 hours from one side to the other.
Yeah.
So our area, our area would need a couple of guides.
Yeah.
In itself.
I might just do like a top level. So if you're coming to the Cotswolds for the weekend, obviously you're going to want to stay at Strawtop Cottage. Of course, is there anywhere else you'd want to stay? But yeah, just things to do. Like for example, a massage with Sally. Like get yourself booked in at the Shepherd's Hut. Go to Ligon Arms. Go to Quince and Clover. So I'm going to do
Broadway
that. Broadway Tower.
Lavender Fields.
I'm going to try and get it done before this video goes live. So I'll leave it linked in the description box.
Quince and Clover.
That is my motivation. But yeah, definitely recommend a trip to the Leg and Arms and have a walk down Broadway High Street. I don't think I spoke on the camera, but we went into, I think it's called the Cheltenham House Antiques, and Charlie of course made friends with the owner, this lovely chap called Christian. He's got an incredible eye for design and he's chosen some really beautiful antiques. I would say that they are definitely on the pricier side of...
It's more high-end though. I think like any area of business, there's the scale, isn't there?
Yeah.
And his antiques are beautiful. Like each piece in there is a statement piece.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you bought 5 items from there, you wouldn't want them all in the same room because there's too much going on. So like we found one statement piece, didn't we, that we've got our eye on.
Yeah.
But and then next door, his wife runs a restaurant.
No, I think his wife runs another home shop, and they also own this place called Flipside. I think it's called Flipside. Is it Flipside? Yeah, which is a burger place. I'm sure that's what he said. I'm sure it's his wife who has another shop.
Oh, okay. I thought he said his wife ran the burger shop.
Or maybe she does. But either way, there is, owned by them is Flipside, a burger restaurant next door, and it smelt so good. And there was this incredible wisteria growing up it. You will have seen in the clips. And if you think about our wisteria, which is 15 years old, and the trunk is like this thick.
I think our one on our house is more than 15 years.
Could be.
I don't know. I think that one precedes even Stephen, but I don't know. We'll have to ask, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll have to ask. But because the one there, they reckon is nearly 200 years.
Yeah. But the stem of it was like, I can't even do its width with my arms. It was absolutely huge and in full bloom, so very much ahead of ours. But yeah, definitely recommend a trip to Broadway. So on the way home now, and then we are Windsor bound. So it's a few hours later, and I hope you can hear me over the music. We have come to, it's called the Summer River House. It's basically a Soho House pop-up, not too far out of Windsor. We managed to get a table on the riverside. I think they're going to be here at least the whole summer. We are here with Scarlett, birthday girl. We're just enjoying our pizzas and we've got some company. Hello, my little baby friends. Oh, you're so precious. Come on, little one. Come on, little one. They're so quick, they're little Speedy Gonzales. Come on, baby, look how hard he's trying. Come on, baby, you can do it. Wrong way, come on. This way. Come on, sweet little baby. Scarlett and I go to the bathroom for 3 minutes. We come back and this one has ordered not 1 but 2 desserts.
See, on Fridays.
Calories don't count.
Calories don't count.
What did you say to the waitress?
On Saturdays.
Calories don't count.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
Calories don't count. And on Bank Holiday Mondays.
Calories don't count.
Good morning, my darlings. It is Sunday morning now. We had a fabulous time at the Summer River House. We ended up staying for quite a few cocktails. I actually got a little bit jolly. Oh my goodness, I always forget how strong cocktails are because I don't really think about the amount of alcohol in them, and Charlie being Charlie just kept ordering more cocktails, so it was a really fun evening. I woke up to so many messages on my Instagram about questions about the Summer River House, so I actually whizzed together a blog post this morning, basically everything you need to know about Summer River House, how to get there, what they're serving, what it's like, how to actually get in, location, etc, etc. So I'll leave that blog post linked down below. So as you will have just seen from the little intro clip this morning, I have just bought in, finally my mirrors have arrived. Can you believe that these mirrors were, I think, 45 or 49 pounds from Aldi? I'm so thrilled. Honestly, the nearest that I saw to these were from, I think M&S had something really lovely as well, but that was 120 pounds. So the price of one of those was more than I paid for both of these. Sometimes with, I found in the past, like in our old house in Clapham, there was a really cheap, I think it was maybe an IKEA mirror in the downstairs bathroom, and it was kind of warped. And whenever you looked in it, you just couldn't, it made you feel a little bit dizzy. So I was, in a way, kind of thinking that this probably wouldn't be the best quality actual mirror. But as you can see, they're just perfect. They are literally perfect. You would never, ever, ever in a million years think that these mirrors were less than £50 each. I'm so impressed. So when I think Mark next comes to the house, our carpenter, I'm going to ask him to put them up on the walls because I'm not sure Charlie is a perfectionist enough to get them absolutely spot on. So I'm going to ask Mark to put them up on the walls when he next comes, because at the moment, as you can see, I've just got them leaning. And to be honest, after I filmed this clip, I might take them down, because imagine if they fell onto the sinks, that would not be ideal. But I mean, look at this vista, isn't that just absolutely stunning? The gorgeous marble sink, oh my gosh, I think they look brilliant. And this view with the florals all behind, I'm just so very, very, very happy with this. So yeah, just unboxed these, bought them up. We're about to make a lovely brunch, and then surprisingly, it is a glorious day today. We weren't actually expecting good weather today. It was forecast to be really rubbish weather, so this is a major perk. And we are finally going to do our rose garden today, because we've got loads more compost and we've bought loads of plants, and it's going to be raining for the next week, so we absolutely have to get the rose garden done today. This is actually quite a good way of me showing you like the top half of an outfit of the day as well. You can see a little bit more there. So this is the most gorgeous dress. If I show you this way, sorry, toilet in the background, that's the one downside of this room. It is a powder room at the end of the day, but if you look at the fabric, you might be able to see it's actually got little daisies embroidered on it, which is so, so pretty. And this is another dress from Amazon. Oh my goodness, they literally are smashing it. This silhouette, I just absolutely love. I love smocking. I love the ruffle detail. It feels a little bit kind of prairie girl style. You do have, I think you've got pockets. You do on the pink one. Or maybe this one doesn't have pockets. Maybe not. Yeah, do you see that beautiful daisy print? I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love this colour. So I'm in a great mood this morning. Mirrors look brilliant. Love the dress, and we're going to spend a day gardening. So that all counts for one very happy Josie. Gosh, the house is looking absolutely beautiful today. You can see the wisteria is really starting to come out. I'll give you a close-up in a second. Look at Dickie just sat there. Can you spot him? So an update down here. The crab apple archway is really starting to blossom. This will thicken up year after year after year, so it'll just be full of blossom, but it's looking absolutely stunning. You can see where it's really dense down here. It looks absolutely beautiful. Great pollinator. In fact, I can hear it humming with bees. Slightly less successful, however, is the yew hedge. As you can see, it's looking very, very unhappy indeed. And Harry from Nicholson's actually came over last week and is really unhappy with how it's taken, and they're actually going to replace it for us, which is crazy. They think that it's a bad batch of yew, but you can see it really is unhappy, and we've done everything we've been told, the best watering practices. Yew doesn't actually like to have its roots wet, so we've been really careful how much water we apply. It's got great quality compost down there, so the only solution is that it's just a bad batch, which is a real shame, but glad that we did it through Nicholson's as opposed to trying to do it ourselves, because that would have been expensive to replace if we'd have got it wrong. So I've just been asked to come down to the kitchen garden area to get some chives for our Sunday brunch. Lettuce is doing well. It's really funny to see how much better the lettuce that's growing in the cloche is doing. These ones, I think the wind is just pushing compost onto them, so they're not doing quite as well. I need to clear a bit of a space. I think some of my runner beans got a bit of frostbite. Luckily I've got loads growing, so I'm not too worried. Beans, radishes and peas over here doing really well. The grass seed is finally starting to take in the areas where the topiary trees used to be. Thank goodness. Are you sitting in the dappled sun, my little dapple chap? Come on in. So after brunch we are doing a little bit of work on the herbaceous border. I have bought out lots of my little seedlings, which, because we're about to have a week of rain, we think, but the temperatures have definitely increased, so I'm hopeful that we're not going to have too many harsh frosts. So I've bought lots of my little seedlings out and we're going to plant some of them in the herbaceous border. So I've got my cosmos, I've got some of the seed papers, some lupins, some forget-me-nots, some phlox, lots of cosmos, and I've also got some of the seeds from Daylesford. They say that you can plant them out in March and April. Well, it's the 2nd of May, I'm sure it won't hurt. So we are just going to find any little gaps in here. Obviously most of these plants are going to become ginormous within a few months, but still we can fill a few gaps because personally I don't think you can ever have too many pretty plants in your herbaceous border. I am really pleased with is, or are rather, my lupins. So lupins can get pretty big. I hope I haven't done this one too close to the U-ball, but from a single seed I think this is going to be spectacular when you compare it to, that's another lupin that I've grown from seed. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is a lupin that the Nicholson's chaps put in, and I'm guessing they probably started growing these last year, and I don't think it'll be too long until mine catch up. Honestly, I cannot wait to see how this bed develops. So I'm now doing this little area closest to the entrance to the house, and I've got quite a lot of phlox, and phlox give off the most beautiful fragrance. So seeing as this is the area that we probably will spend the most time in, I thought it wise to put the phlox here. Some of them have got a little bit dry. I think I should have potted them on a bit sooner, but hopefully they will enjoy their new home out here by the door. Hello, lovely little boy. You sitting with your big bro Lulu? Are you sitting with your big bro Lulu? Lulu! Dicky dicky dicky! Dicky dicky dicky! You funny little boys. Dixie coming too? I'm not going to look for Dicky dick. Or should we sort of like... Well, after an afternoon of gardening, we are absolutely exhausted, and it started to get a little bit rainy outside. So Charlie suggested that we light the fire and bring out some board games. So that's exactly what we've done. And oh, it just feels so cozy in here, even though it feels like a really wintry room, but we should definitely make the most of it on days like today. So we've got a few new candle sticks since we last brought you in here. We've slightly changed the layout. By the way, sofas and stuff, their showrooms are open again now, and I would highly recommend a visit. It was at their Battersea showroom that Charlie and I first really fell in love with sofas and stuff, which is where this lovely sofa is from. You can choose literally everything. They have so many amazing designs, so many beautiful fabrics. You can choose everything from the type of wood on the legs. You can obviously choose whatever scatter cushion covers you want. It's very, very bespoke, and we are just so impressed with the quality, and it is so comfortable. And obviously we've got the matching footstool. So yeah, highly recommend visiting a Sofas and Stuff showroom if you are in the market for a gorgeous new addition to your living room. And this is where we're going to be spending the rest of our afternoon. So time to get out the board games, stoke the fire, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, my darlings. It is now Bank Holiday Monday. So what is the reason for this bank holiday? I think it's literally May Day, May Bank Holiday. So we have an extra weekend day today, which is fantastic. Very much looking forward to an extra day off today. And we are having a little barbecue later on with some friends, although weather update for you, it's actually meant to start raining later, but I think we're still gonna go for a walk. We'll just put some anoraks on, because even though we've been super active this weekend, Charlie and I have actually not been on a walk, so we definitely need to go and stretch our legs a little bit. We were absolutely exhausted yesterday after the gardening. Honestly, I feel like gardening is the best exercise. We still didn't get around to doing the rose beds. I think what we need to do is make that our first task of the day, instead of being like, oh, let's go down to the kitchen garden and do a bit there and then do the rose garden, because every gardening task always takes so much longer than you think it will. So as you may be able to guess from my lack of makeup and my attire this morning, I am about to go into the gym and do a Peloton. It will be my first Peloton since, well, I've just realised that I didn't actually really update you, haven't updated you on my tummy issues lately, so maybe it's time we had a little health catch up. So I'll just pop you down there while we have a little catch up. So backstory, I've actually had a little pain, a little kind of bump directly underneath my tummy button for a couple of years now, and I first noticed it when I was putting on sun cream on a family holiday. I noticed something a little bit strange feeling in my tummy button. Didn't really think anything of it, and then it got to the point where it was actually a little bit tender, and I didn't want to wear any tight trousers. If I wore like super tight leggings, anything like compressing that area, I would find it pretty uncomfortable. And then maybe 6 months later, it got to the point where it was continually quite painful, so much so that if someone like came to tickle me, for example, like went and beeline for that area, I would really recoil. And didn't want to be touched in that area at all. And then COVID hit, so I kept putting off going to the doctors. I thought, it's not important, it's not really bothering me in my day-to-day life that much. I don't want to waste the doctor's time. I don't want to take away a hospital bed, kind of in the back of my head, knowing that it would probably need to be a little operation. Maybe it was like a hernia or something. So I just thought, it's fine, it's not really bothering me, it's not preventing me from living my life, so I'll just push it to the side, which is something you should never do when it comes to medical things. So yeah, I just pushed it to the side, but then it was really kind of like November last year that it started to get actually quite painful continuously, to the point where, I don't know if you remember in some of the vlogs, after I got the Peloton, I was like, okay, well that Peloton's just completely wiped me out. I need to like lie down for the rest of the day. And I did have to, I would do maybe like an hour standing up and doing stuff, especially after exercising, and then I would have to go and lay down. And anyone that even like touched this area slightly could feel a lump under my tummy button. Went to the doctors in January, just my local GP, and she thought it's probably a hernia. So I had a couple of MRI scans at the local hospital. The second one was something called a contrast MRI scan. This is something I never really thought I'd be sharing online, but it might, when we get to the end of this story, you'll realise why it maybe might help some of you. Because what I have been diagnosed with is actually incredibly common. So I had a contrast MRI scan, which is basically where they inject you with like a dye so that they can see a little bit more contrast in scan results. They still didn't know what it was, but they could see that there was some kind of tumour, they called it, kind of like coming out from my abdominal muscles. They thought it wasn't a hernia at this point. They didn't know what it was. So I was referred to I think it's called an orthopaedic. I was referred to a hospital in Oxford. And I'll just be totally honest with you. The actual clinic that they referred me to was a sarcoma clinic. And I Googled sarcoma, obviously knowing in my head that it was something quite bad, sarcoma being cancer. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking going into this clinic, but at the same time thinking, oh, it's probably not that, but they need to do all these tests. So I went in, really amazingly lovely lady doctor, had a really good chat with her, and she explained a few things that she thought it might be, and that is when endometriosis was first mentioned. And I had researched it a little bit myself. March was actually Endometriosis Awareness Month, so I did a lot of research after seeing quite a few people online, from a fitness blogger Kayla Itzines and some other UK bloggers talking about it. So I did some research into it, and maybe 50% of the symptoms I was like, yeah, that's what I've got, that's what I've got, that's what I've got. So I went back to hospital a week later and had a biopsy, which is when they basically make a small incision. You're under local anaesthetic where they numb the area. And the doctor, it wasn't a particularly pleasant experience, but he took a little bit from the lump. I don't know how much of this I should really tell you, but they did some analysis on it. And the text that I got from the hospital the next day was booking me in for an appointment with the soft tissue sarcoma clinic. So again, that word, which didn't exactly put my mind at rest, but luckily it was only a couple of days later that the doctor rang me and said that it is endometriosis. So I'm currently in a waiting list to have a small operation. It's painful, I would say, in so much that I don't want to be doing any like really intense exercise at the moment. I still find that it hurts if I wear anything too tight. So for example, these leggings, I mean, these are actually quite comfortable because they've got like a band that distributes the support. But for example, I would not be able to wear a pair of tight jeans. I got rid of all of my tight denim jeans in my last vlog. Endometriosis is something which apparently 1 in 10 women have, but on average, I'm trying to recall these stats off the top of my head, on average it takes 7 or 8 years to diagnose because it is really hard to diagnose. So it's something that I'm looking into a lot more now, trying to teach myself about. It's something that I don't know a huge amount about, but I'm sure that given those stats, a lot of you watching have got experience with this, so I thought I would share it with you. And as I research more into it and learn more about it and how I will hopefully, I'd say solve it, but it's something that I think you pretty much just have to live with, I can share that with you. So yeah, gosh, I've never really done like a health honest chat with you guys before, but a lot of you were asking how I was, because I mentioned a couple of trips to the hospital, and I have mentioned this lump in my tummy. So now we know what it is, and I await to hear the next steps. Obviously, because I'm not like keeling over in pain, it's not urgent to be seen with, especially while the hospitals are still pretty busy here, so I'm happy to just wait my turn. But that's where we're at the moment, and this will be my first exercise since the biopsy. So as much as I would love to be getting nice and fit and doing exercise every day like I was previously, I just feel like I need to give my body a little bit more rest. So yeah, that's the update. I'll keep you posted. Fitness outfit is a new one from Sweaty Betty. I think I need to give it a good iron, because you can see this seams a little bit. But it's this really lovely kind of grey, almost marshmallowy shade. And this, I think, is called their Super Sculpt legging set. So this is like a butt lifting and hold it all in section up here, which I think makes it really nice and flattering. And one of their new design sports bras, which has got this very sporty style back. So I love this. I'm gonna pop some trainer socks on, and then it's time to do my Peloton. And freshly showered. Completed it, mate. Ticked that box this morning, and we are now on our way. We've literally just arrived at Nicholson's. So as well as being our epic garden designers, landscapers, they also have this garden centre, which I'm pretty sure I've brought you here before. Not done anything with my hair. It's still actually a little bit wet because it is very miserable. It is rather rainy, so I'm just not going to bother doing anything today. Oh my goodness, there is a queue of people to get in. For me, yes please. Yeah.
Have you got any distractions?
Unfortunately, the rain has caught up with us, but we've got our coffees from the Yurt. I don't know if you can see over there, but they've got a Yurt cafe, and the pergola that I'm absolutely obsessed with and hopefully will one day own. They have they've covered in some kind of beautiful vines. It looks almost like a clematis or a clematis, but I just love stone structure. One day we'll have something like this in the kitchen garden. They've got some gorgeous planters here. The planters that we've got outside the front of or the back of our house rather, are from here. There's a lovely one. Charlie's looking at the garden furniture in the Rosara area. We've picked up a couple more strawberry plants. I've got one or two maybe.
Blackcurrant.
Blackcurrant, that can get quite big and bushy.
Can it?
Yeah, you often find it actually within hedgerows.
No, that's blackberry, isn't it?
Ah, you might be right. Okay, back home again and feeling a lot more glam. I let my hair dry naturally this morning, and then I've just gone through it with my Dyson Corral to get these nice big curls. I washed my hair with the Red Ken Blondage this morning, so I feel like the colour is looking really good, and I'm currently inhaling mouthfuls of hairspray. A top tip that I shared with Scarlett, Charlie's sister, earlier this weekend that she didn't know, and it was something that I thought everybody knew this, so I'll let you know just in case. That's a bit better. I can give you an actual example now. The top tip is that you're always meant to spray your hair from underneath. I'm not gonna, yeah, I'll do a little bit. So basically, instead of going like this, which then makes the hairspray settle and weigh your hair down, what you're meant to do is actually spray it from underneath, and then you can see instantly it just gives your hair so much more volume, and then gravity is on your side. I think I need a little bit more blusher and mascara. I've left my By Terry Beach Bomb palette in my handbag because that is the blush that I'm wearing most days. But I do love this Hourglass palette. It's got some nice like bronzy tones in there as well. Generally quite illuminating. And my current favourite eyeshadow palette is this one. I got a lovely, it's called the Tartelette in Bloom palette by Tarte. And I was sent a lovely PR mail from Tarte the other day. It's just got the most wonderful kind of browny, pinky shades. And there's one in particular called Sweetheart. And it's a really nice kind of, I would call it like an everyday pink. So if maybe you generally wear like brownie tones but you want to freshen it up a little bit more for spring, then that's a really nice palette. Do a little bit more mascara. Didn't put any eyeliner or eyeshadow on my lash line today, so just a bit more mascara will add to the intensity. Mist with Dior Air Flash Radiance Makeup Setting Mist. And I've got a few new bits of jewellery on as well. So this is a new necklace which has arrived from Monica Vinader, and I do have something quite similar to this but with a thinner chain, but something about this thicker chain I really like, and then it's got quite a natural pearl on it. You'll know that I treated myself to for my birthday, and Mum bought me a couple of Monica Vinader bits for my birthday as well, and you can take these charms off and pop them on your earrings, on your bracelets, whatever you like, so I love a good mix and match. And then this I spotted on their new in. It's very similar to the necklace that I'm wearing, so slightly thicker chain and then quite a natural shaped pearl. So I've got that on, earring free, don't think I need earrings. So our friends Ben and Robin are going to be here any second. Unfortunately it's not that great weather, so we're going to have to put the brollies up outside. Charlie's still determined to do some barbecuing, so I'm going to quickly whiz together a mac and cheese because I think they're feeling a bit delicate. So I think we'll do mac and cheese, burgers and chips, burgers and lamb chops on the barbecue. And also let me show you. You can see from here I have taken delivery of 2 new planters. I just realised he's also lined them for me, which is really sweet, and these are for me to do my composting in. So I've got these 2, they're called sub pods, and you basically submerge these like plastic things in your garden, or in my case in these little beds, and you do your composting in it, and they've got little holes in them so the worms can go in and out of your compost boxes, and then you grow stuff around them, so it's like a visual way of composting. I actually have 3 of those on order. He can only fit 2 in his van, so hopefully the next one is coming tomorrow, and hopefully it won't rain all week next week so I can start doing my composting. How exciting. But for now I'm just going to whiz around downstairs and do a little bit of flower maintenance before our friends are. Lee has been busy doing some food prep while I have been adding some curls to my hair. We've got our favourite Torres crisps, some hummus and some seeded little flatbreads. I often get just as excited about these little nibbly picky bits as I do the main events.
I think we need to up our game though. Like I think it's the one area that really lets us down.
Really?
We're not good at like making our own stuff.
I see.
Like some canapes and stuff ourselves. Like this summer, like in preparation for summer, we need to start practicing some of like crudités and things like that.
Well, once my garden is full of produce, then I'll be able to go and literally get the carrots from the garden. I'll even be able to go and get the potatoes from the garden so I can make my own crisps.
What about our own cured meat?
Oh no, don't. So we've got some saucisson, and then I have got all my bits ready to do a mac and cheese. Oh, I got the wrong flour out.